It's an unspoken rule that beating the final boss in any video game should be a very difficult task, a test of all of the skills you've accumulated until this fateful moment. So when the final boss is a total washout, it's hard not to be disappointed. Real gamers earn their victories, and having that satisfaction yanked out from under you in the final moments of a game you poured hours into is a total buzzkill.
Disappointed!
Here are a few games that totally skimped out on their final boss fights. Fable II. The original Fable ended with a pretty fun battle against a glowing red villain. Fable II, however, ended with an old guy who could be killed with a music box and a single bullet. When Lucien Fairfax goes into his villain monologue in the game's final scene, you can end the game just by shooting him once. If you decide not to shoot and listen to his whole speech, one of your pals will shoot him instead.
Oh, I thought he'd never shut up.
There's no way around the anticlimactic one-shot battle, which is narratively sound, but pretty unsatisfying as a player. Killing a boss should be harder than pressing a single button. Borderlands. A monolithic alien god that contains Pandora's box sounds like a badass finale to any game, but the entire final fight in Borderlands consisted of shooting at designated weak spots, hiding behind pillars to dodge tentacles, and repetition. The reward? Nothing. Players were so crestfallen that the developer acknowledged them in the intro to Borderlands 2.
To the warriors who opened it, the vault was just a container of tentacles and disappointment.
It's an ending that makes sense in context, but gamers want loot and a challenge, not the crushing letdown of reality. That's what going to your job is for. Gears of War 2. Are you good at holding down a button until something dies? That's exactly what happens when you fight the Lambent Brumak, the final boss in Gears of War 2. All of your adventuring and all of the locusts you've cut through pales in comparison to this epic boss fight, right? Hope you enjoy throwing down a couple hammers of dawn in between watching cutscenes, because that's all you're getting from this boss fight. Prince of Persia, The Two Thrones. What makes the final boss fight in Prince of Persia, The Two Thrones interesting is that the prince is essentially fighting the darkness within himself. And given that the prince has incredible agility, combat prowess, and the ability to manipulate time, you'd think that the fight would be incredible. But you end up just chasing the Dark Prince across a bunch of platforms before you decide to stop and get back to Farah, the prince's main squeeze.
You must not chase this shadow. Turn away. Wake up.
It turns out the prince just had to let his dark side go, rather than try to get it to submit. Yawn. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. Throughout all of Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, Talion stabbed his way across the land and killed dozens of Uruks in an effort to bring him closer to those who murdered his family. He learned ancient skills and developed into a highly efficient killing machine. So it's pretty disappointing when his final battle with the Black Hand is nothing more than a button-matching game. All you have to do is match a few prompts on the screen and boom, you win. Thrilling, right? Final Fantasy Legend. By the time you get to the end of Final Fantasy Legend, your Game Boy is probably fused to your hands, and you've depleted a year's worth of emergency AA batteries. Your warriors find out that everything they've been doing has been part of a game designed by the creator, who is some kind of weird top-hat-wearing goth person. As you gear up to engage in the epic battle against a force that can create and destroy worlds, a game bug allows you to kill the creator with a single hit. As it happens, a weapon called Saw was programmed backwards, so it instantly kills anything stronger than your warrior, because this Final Fantasy apparently happens in Bizarro World.
Superman would throw spaceship into the sun. Me do the opposite. Throw sun into spaceship. Ow, 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 ow.
Shadowgate. Perhaps it's unfair to ask for a challenging boss battle for a point-and-click role-playing game, but when you enter a room with a powerful warlock summoning an enormous dragon from some kind of hell pit, you have a pretty good reason to get excited. All it takes, though, is one click to zap the dragon with your magic staff, and the game is over. Of course, it's all about the journey rather than the destination, but a little bit of destination is always nice too. Even a little more of that pixelated dragon would have been nice. A Boy and His Blob. A pile of sludge named Blobbert comes to Earth to find a boy in order to help him save his planet from an evil emperor who's forced the entire population to live on candy, which actually sounds like the best election platform ever. When Blobbert eats jelly beans, he turns into different cool things, so his aversion to sugar is completely off base, and he probably just has a problem with authority. When you get to the final boss, all you have to do is toss Blob a single jelly bean. He'll turn into a jack and knock a convenient bottle of vitamins onto the emperor, and the world is saved. because storing poison on a precarious shelf right over your head is apparently the Blobalonian way. Super Mario Bros. It's not easy to criticize a classic like Super Mario Bros., but it has to be done. Reaching the King of the Koopas in level 8-4 is no small task, but after dozens of excellently designed levels and predictable battles against mini-boss Bowsers, one might expect his final form to be a little different. Sadly, the ultimate Bowser is just more of the same. He's not even protected by a clever maze like his castle in level 7-4, and once you reach him, all you have to do is jump over him or hit him with a few fireballs. Bowser may just be the most consistently easy final boss of all time. He accidentally kills himself in Super Mario Bros. 3 by stomping around too hard, but his attempts at villainy in Super Mario World are the worst. While Bowser flies around in his weird, unthreatening clown head, he chucks the easiest enemies in the game at you, when he's not dropping power-ups. The whole final battle takes about 2 minutes, all while Bowser is plugged into the least threatening video game vehicle of all time. A clown? Seriously?
Do you have Prince Albert in a can? You do? Well, you better let the poor guy out!
Thanks for watching. Click the grunge icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.